Hello everyone and welcome to my The Bold Fans channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful BNB, John Finn Finnegan Tanner Novlin has been groveling a lot, but once he discovers what Steffy Forrester Finnegan Jacqueline McInnes Wood is concealing, he will undoubtedly alter his mind. Rather of confessing what she had done to Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, Steffy continued to tell Finn that she was the only one who needed forgiveness. Steffy tried in vain to come clean about her treachery, but in the end she remained silent. Steffy didn't tell Finn about her inebriated altercation with Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, at Forrester Creations, even though she acknowledged that she overreacted to the incident. Here are 5 ways Finn might hold Steffy accountable for the Carter cover-up and their violated marriage vows, as she would suffer for her silence once the truth is revealed. 1. Does Finn take off his own wedding band? To begin with, Finn might act in the same way as Steffy did after feeling deceived in Monaco. Just as she flung her own ring set at Finn on the beach, Steffy might be appalled if Finn takes off his wedding band and throws it at her. 2. Does Finn leave Cliff House? From there, Finn might argue that, given what he knows, he couldn't possibly share a home with Steffy. Finn might be persuaded to leave the Cliff home until they can decide what to do next by this intense Carter revelation. 3. Is Finn attracted to someone else? After learning of Steffy's infidelity, it would be beneficial for her if Finn had a drunken romp of his own. Will Finn end up in bed with someone else after consoling himself with copious amounts of alcohol? The first person that springs to mind as a possibility is Daphne Rose Walton, Muriel Hilaire, who would experience many of the same feelings after learning the truth. 4. Finn wants to console Sheila. Naturally, when Finn finds out that Steffy cheated and concealed it, he might also turn to Mama Sheila. Finn might decide to do whatever he wants as a result, including bonding with his birth mother and embracing Sheila's consolation. 5. Does Finn advocate for a divorce? Fans of BNB may hear Finn demand a divorce, depending on how angry he is. Finn's belief that their love may endure may be influenced by the possibility that Steffy could become pregnant by Carter. Finn has the right to declare their marriage over and insist that Steffy has gone too far, even if he later has second thoughts. In any case, according to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy will suffer the consequences of developing feelings for Carter and attempting to ignore them. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, John Finn Finnegan has been groveling a lot, but once he discovers what Steffy Forrester Finnegan is concealing, he will undoubtedly alter his mind. Steffy allowed Finn to go on and on about being the only one who needed forgiveness rather than being honest about what she had done to Carter Walton. Steffy tried in vain to come clean about her treachery, but in the end she remained silent. Steffy didn't tell Finn about her inebriated office outburst with Sheila Carter at Forrester Creations, even though she acknowledged that she overreacted to the incident. Here are 5 ways Finn might hold Steffy accountable for the Carter cover-up and their violated marriage vows, as she would suffer for her silence once the truth is revealed. Finn has been confiding in Steffy for the past few days, claiming he was the only one responsible for the most recent marital issue. Determined to undo the harm created by his choice to conceal Sheila's presence during their escape, he took a plane back from Monaco. He promised restraining orders, repeatedly apologized for the secrecy, and pledged that his birth mother would never again jeopardize the harmony of their family. Steffy listened, occasionally nodded, and even acknowledged that her own response in Monaco could have been over the top. However, Finn interrupted her with yet another round of self-recrimination each time she began to discuss the night she spent with Carter. As a result, there is a hazardous imbalance. Steffy carries the heavier secret of physical betrayal and a purposeful cover-up, while Finn feels that only he has violated commitments. Such inequalities never persist, as soap opera history illustrates. Finn's hurt will probably turn into a planned emotional retaliation campaign once the truth is out. Based on the characters' established behaviors and the high stakes of their shared past, the following 5 scenarios indicate the most likely avenues that payback could take. First, Finn may purposefully imitate Steffy's previous action by taking off his own wedding band. When Steffy discovered Finn knew Sheila was pursuing them on the Monaco beach, she hit her breaking point. Declaring the marriage over, she pulled off her rings and hurled them at her husband. The purpose of the theatrical action was to convey agony and finality. Finn will find it difficult to avoid making the same gesture in return after he finds out that Steffy not only had an affair with Carter, but also permitted him to ask for forgiveness while hiding the act. Imagine the scene at the Cliff House. Finn gingerly removes the band from his finger after hearing the confession and processing the specifics of the inebriated evening in the Forrester office. He might shove it into Steffy's hand with the same icy determination she used, or he could set it on the table between them. The action would be a calculated reaction meant to make Steffy experience the exact rejection she caused rather than an outburst of wrath. Symbolic items are very important in the world of the bold and the beautiful. The rings have already withstood numerous separations, Sheila's machinations, and near-death experiences. In these situations, removing them once more would indicate that trust has been destroyed in a manner never seen in earlier crises. Every time Steffy looked at her husband's bare hand, she would have to face the tangible proof of his retreat, a continual reminder that her cover-up cost her the exact symbol of devotion she had so casually thrown away. Second, Finn may decide to leave the Cliff House since he is adamant that he cannot live with the woman who so completely deceived him. The couple has long found refuge at the Cliff House, where they rebuilt following gunshots, family disclosures, and Sheila's persistent threat. Finn believed the house still symbolized safety and shared history, so he came there prepared to fight for the marriage after the Monaco explosion. Every room's emotional geography is altered when one learns about Carter. The knowledge of Steffy's night with another man taints the living room where they previously plotted their future, the bedroom where they restored intimacy, and even the kitchen where morning routines took place. Finn may pack a bag and head to a motel or possibly temporary lodgings at the Forrester home, announcing that he needs time to contemplate the treachery. Steffy would lose the stability in the home that she has battled to keep for their kids, Kelly and Hayes, if this were to happen. In the shadow of separation, it would also compel frequent discussions about parenting, school runs, and nighttime routines. According to soap opera logic, emotional distance is frequently accelerated by physical separation. The road back to reconciliation becomes more difficult if Finn is absent for private discussions or impromptu displays of affection. With half of the bed unoccupied, Steffy would have to deal with the practical and psychological fallout from her quiet. Third, Finn might turn the tables by matching Steffy's physical treachery and find solace in a drunken experience of his own. The current cast of personalities makes the classic daily drama of vengeance intimacy very believable. After her own rash departure, Daphne Rose Walton has just returned to Carter, only to learn, or soon to learn, that her husband spent the night with Steffy while she was away. In a daze of booze and hurt, Finn and Daphne might be drawn together by their common sense of betrayal. Both would be able to relate to the hurt caused by a partner's secrecy and the embarrassment of discovering the truth after the fact. In addition to restoring Finn's sense of agency, a single night of careless ease between them would also create a parallel secret over which Steffy could never assert moral supremacy. Even if they don't end in complete intimacy, Steffy would be severely hurt by the idea that Finn might find comfort somewhere else. Seeing Finn cross a similar boundary would undermine her self-image, as she has traditionally positioned herself as the partner who expects complete honesty and faithfulness. Reciprocal betrayal rarely results in a clear resolution, as the bold and the beautiful has repeatedly demonstrated. Rather, it ensures that the initial cover-up keeps creating new issues for months by multiplying the layers of guilt, accusation, and lingering attraction. Fourth, Finn may intentionally unlock the door Steffy has spent years attempting to keep closed by turning to Sheila for emotional assistance. Sheila Carter, the lady who constantly interfered in the Finnegan marriage, threatened her children and shot Steffy, continues to be the primary source of pain in Steffy's adult life. The relationship had already reached a breaking point due to Finn's recent defense of his birth mother in Monaco. He may find it impossible to resist the urge to embrace the maternal bond he has long yearned for after learning about Steffy's evening with Carter. He might agree to Sheila's requests for private talks, give her more access to Hayes, or just utilize her as a support system for his suffering. For Steffy, who has said time and time again that Sheila's presence puts their family in jeopardy, each of those options would feel like a targeted punishment. Finn would convey that Steffy's infidelity has cost her the authority to set the limits of his relationships by turning to the one person she most fears for solace. There would have a significant psychological impact. Because Steffy chose secrecy over confession, she would witness the man she married give preference to the woman who had abandoned her. Such a realignment of allegiances frequently proves more disastrous than any physical affair in the show's heightened emotional economy. Fifth, and most irrevocably, Finn could file for divorce, claiming that Steffy has gone too far. Sheila's violence, paternity shocks, professional rivalries, and frequent separations have all put the marriage to the strain, but the mix of physical betrayal and purposeful concealment may ultimately prove to be too much for them to handle. Finn has consistently portrayed himself as a man of integrity, a physician who respects integrity, and a husband who demands the same. He might be persuaded that the marriage's foundation is irreversibly damaged if he finds out that Steffy not only breached their vows but also endured his apologies without revealing her own wrongdoing. He may write documents, seek legal advice, or just declare his desire to leave. An additional level of intricacy is introduced by the potential for pregnancy. The emotional and legal ramifications of any divorce would soar if Steffy found out she was expecting Carter's child, bringing up issues of support, custody, and public scandal. The mere prospect of divorce would compel Steffy to face the full consequences of her cover-up, even in the absence of a pregnancy. The idea of defending her marriage and providing a secure home for her kids has shaped a large portion of her identity. It would be a tremendous personal reckoning to lose that framework because she opted for silence over the truth. There is no conflict between these 5 options. Finn could take off his ring, move out, find short-term solace with Sheila or Daphne, and yet file for divorce. The life Steffy attempted to maintain through secrecy would be methodically destroyed as a result of the cumulative effect. The irony is striking. Steffy's choice to conceal the evening with Carter was most likely driven by her wish to repair the marriage she felt Finn's concealment had already harmed. However, she set the stage for a much harsher reckoning by letting him think he was the only one in need of forgiveness. Finn will no longer be the contrite husband begging for another chance when the truth comes to light, whether it is due to Carter's guilt, an unintentional error, or Sheila's unavoidable interference. With every reason to make Steffy feel the full weight of broken vows, he will be the partner who has been wronged. These results are particularly poignant given the storyline's larger background. Steffy's long-standing dispute with Hope about any perceived danger to her marriage is the most prominent example of her documented history of demanding transparency from others around her. For a single kiss with Finn, she once verbally crushed Hope. She now finds herself in a situation where she has gone much farther with Carter while still hiding it. When Finn discovers the truth, the moral superiority she has maintained for years will vanish. Daphne's return and their subsequent reconciliation only put more pressure on Carter to preserve the secret because he has his own marriage to safeguard. However, such truths seldom stay hidden in daily theater. Evidence will emerge, someone will speak, or the guilt will become intolerable. The next phase of both couples' lives will be shaped by Finn's reaction when that occurs. Revenge in The Bold and the Beautiful is rarely quick or easy, as viewers who are familiar with the show's patterns are aware. It develops through smart alliances, lingering stares, and well-planned conflicts. The same beat will probably be followed by Finn's retaliation. He might start by removing the wedding band symbolically, move on to a physical separation, look for other comforts, and then determine whether the marriage itself is worth preserving. Steffy will have to deal with the fallout from her decision to remain silent with every step. The workplace at Forrester Creations will turn into a pressure cooker of unresolved tension, the children will feel the strain, and the Forrester family will choose sides. Ultimately, the cover-up that was intended to keep the marriage intact can end up being the cause of its dissolution. The clash of pride, passion, and the refusal to confess the whole truth has always been the foundation of The Bold and the Beautiful. Steffy's decision to let Finn bear the entire burden of guilt after spending the night with Carter fits neatly within that pattern. What's left to wonder is how far Finn will go after realizing the extent of the treachery. According to the character's definitions, the 5 options listed here are the most straightforward paths to emotional justice. Steffy will learn that the cost of a cover-up is rarely paid in a single instant, regardless of Finn's decision to follow one course or a combination of them. Every subsequent encounter, every vacant room in the house, and every reminder that the vows they both made were violated long before either of them acknowledged it are all used to gradually remove it. The Bold and the Beautiful. 5 ways Finn makes Steffy pay for Carter cover-up and broken marriage vows. Finn may have always been the cool-headed, sympathetic guy who stood by Steffy Forrester, but the Bold and the Beautiful may be getting ready to reveal a very different side of him to the audience. The most recent information about Carter Walton may cause Steffy and Finn's marriage to collapse in light of everything that has transpired between them. Steffy may soon understand that the repercussions will be far more agonizing than she ever imagined if she believed she could conceal the truth, shield Carter, and prevent Finn from learning the whole truth. Steffy and Finn have battled for years to keep their marriage safe from outside influences. They have persevered through emotional crises, stunning revelations, betrayals, and family conflict that would have ruined many other relationships. Finn has shown time and time again that he is prepared to overlook Steffy's errors. However, forgiving has its limits, particularly when a spouse feels tricked on purpose. The Carter cover-up might be the last straw. Finn might not just lose it if he finds out that Steffy actively assisted in keeping crucial information from him and knew more than she acknowledged. Alternatively, he could make a number of deliberate decisions that make Steffy bear the repercussions of her behavior. Finn can hold Steffy accountable without resorting to cruelty. His readiness to quit shielding her from the emotional fallout from her own choices may perhaps be his best tool. Finn's first option would be to stop covering for Steffy. When Steffy's family gets involved in another incident, she frequently looks to Finn to support her. Finn has a tendency to try to understand her motivations, even if he doesn't agree with her decisions. He is aware of her intense devotion to her family, which has occasionally led her to make choices that put a great deal of strain on their marriage. However, what happens when Finn recognizes that Steffy's allegiance has gone too far? Finn might feel personally deceived if Steffy deliberately assisted in hiding something about Carter. The secret itself might not always be the most painful thing. Steffy may have come to the conclusion that he didn't deserve to know the truth. That distinction is important. Finn might be able to overlook a mistake, but purposefully keeping him in the dark might cause him to doubt the basis of their whole partnership. He could inform Steffy that she will now be responsible for handling the fallout on her own. Thus, there will be no more justifications. No more justifications meant to shield Steffy from the consequences. Finn will no longer stand in the way of Steffy and those who want answers. That could be disastrous for Steffy. Finn has always been her emotional safety net. She is aware of his love for her despite their disagreements. Steffy might feel totally alone if Finn abruptly stops providing that protection. And Finn might not even have to leave their home to make his point. He could simply stop defending her. Imagine Steffy facing questions from her family, Carter, or other people involved in the situation while Finn remains silent. Instead of jumping in to explain her behavior, he could tell her that she made her choice and now she has to own it. That would be a powerful punishment because it would force Steffy to confront the consequences without the man she loves cleaning up the mess. The second way Finn could make Steffy pay is by putting emotional distance between them. Steffy may expect an explosive confrontation when Finn learns the truth. She might prepare herself for yelling, accusations, and an emotional showdown. But Finn could surprise her by doing something much colder. He could become distant. Instead of screaming, Finn might tell Steffy that he needs space. He could sleep separately, spend more time at the hospital, and limit their conversations to practical matters. The more Steffy tries to get through to him, the more Finn could pull away. For someone like Steffy, that could be unbearable. She has always been intensely emotional when it comes to Finn. Their connection is one of the most important relationships in her life, and the thought of losing his trust could terrify her. Finn could make it clear that he is not ready to pretend everything is normal. He could tell Steffy that their marriage vows meant something to him. Trust meant something to him. Honesty meant something to him. If she violated those principles, then she cannot expect him to simply forget what happened because she says she loves him. That could lead to one of the most emotional conversations between the couple. Steffy might insist that she was trying to protect people. She could argue that she never intended to hurt Finn. She may even insist that she believed keeping the secret was the best option. But Finn could respond with one devastating question. Why didn't you trust me enough to tell me the truth? That question could haunt Steffy. Because at the heart of their marital problems would not simply be Carter. It would be trust. Finn could start questioning how many other things Steffy has kept from him. He might wonder whether she truly sees him as an equal partner or whether she only tells him what she thinks he needs to know. That kind of doubt can destroy even the strongest marriage. The third way Finn could make Steffy pay is by refusing to accept another broken promise. Steffy and Finn have made vows to each other. Like any soap couple, they have had moments when those vows were tested. But if Finn believes Steffy deliberately crossed another major boundary, he could decide that apologies are no longer enough. Steffy could promise that she will never hide something this important from him again.